moved into my car because what else was I supposed to do? And I thought, I'm a soldier. I can do this. I've survived in jungles and deserts and stuff like that. So I thought, well, I can survive in a city. Can't be that hard, can it? I wanted to be involved with this exhibition to show the truth of what's happening out there and to demystify all the nonsense that gets associated with homelessness. Plain and simple. I come from a big family, working class. My dad was a farm worker, so didn't really have a lot of money. I've always felt quite isolated as an individual. And joining the military was my escape. It was my way out of poverty. It was my way of having friends, a community, a secure job. I think that was probably the biggest thing because I couldn't afford to go to college and get qualifications. My only other option was get qualifications through the military. I never wanted to leave the military. It was my second family, right? And some of my best mates. But the problem was I was hiding something. I was hiding my sexuality to not just the military, but to myself. And when I found out it was illegal to be queer in the British Army, it felt like I was losing everything. I forced my resignation through so my dad would never find out why I had to leave the military. But it was something that ate away at me for the rest of my life. I was working constantly because it was my way of like hiding trauma, dealing with trauma. I was self-medicating. I was drinking extortionate amount of alcohol. I was going out every single night after work, and there's only so long that can last until something serious happens. And my mental health just broke, basically, and my health started to deteriorate. I couldn't work. I moved into my car because what else was I supposed to do? And I thought, I'm a soldier. I can do this. I've survived in jungles and deserts and stuff like that. So I thought, well, I can survive in a city. Can't be that hard, can it? I wouldn't class myself as homeless at the time because I was in my car. But even that in its sense of like trying to find somewhere to park, to sleep. You had people phoning the police saying that you're, scouting the area to burgle it, and, you're getting told to move on. You're getting people smashing the window, like, because you're asleep in there. You've got people letting your tires down. You try and go and use a bathroom somewhere and you get vilified and criminalized for it. You get things thrown at you, you get spat at, you get called obscene. I would never put an animal through what we put homeless people through. I found ways of dealing with it. I put curtains up or a piece of material to block the windows so nobody could see that I was there. I ended up finding a really good place where I could park, where I wasn't getting parking tickets. I was paying off parking tickets for 7 years after becoming out of homelessness. I first realised I was homeless after I tried killing myself. I couldn't see me waking up the following day. So I went into a park. This guy was like, "What are you doing?" I didn't know what to say. I had no answer. He sat with me for several hours, and not only did he save my life that day, he gave me my life back. He gave me a choice. Gave me some money, some food, and he got me into a night shelter for the following day. They got hold of the Veterans Aid, a charity for ex-military, who put me into a hotel. I had my own room, a shower. I can't tell you how that shower felt. It was like heaven. And then they got me into a hostel in South London, who were amazing. They helped get me back on my feet. If I didn't have the ability to make art, I think I'd be dead. I think it's that simple. Not everyone has the ability to talk or to be an academic or to be, all these different things. But we can all make art, every single one of us. We all have that ability to do that, but we don't always have the choice to be able to do it. So I set up a festival, whilst on benefits, called the One Festival of Homeless Arts. So other artists could benefit. Because that feeling you have when you get one of your artworks seen on a gallery wall for the first time ever, it's the most beautiful, powerful, uplifting thing that could ever happen to you. And I just wanted other people to feel that. I just wanted them to feel what I was feeling when that happened to me. Because obviously I lived in the car for so long, and it's got this deep-rooted fondness, I guess, like the car. Even though, the car should never be a home, it kept me alive, right? The picture I'm looking at here is the one where it's got the back section, which has got the car bonnet. It looks weird, but when you see it all together, and this is like before it's been sprayed here as well, you'll see elements of the house, plus then there'll be textile in there as well. And it's all going to be a certain colour, which is the colour of the car that I lived in. It's quite simple structure, and that's why it's so difficult for me, because it's not a simple thing what it did. It kept me alive. And I think that's probably why I've struggled to make this artwork, because for me, it's triggered me massively. I've had sleepless nights. I've had nights where it's just been insane. But I've also had these amazing, beautiful moments with it. Some of the beautiful memories that I had while I was living in the car, waking up at 4 a.m. and seeing the dew on the grass and like daisies coming up and little things like that. You just remember that I'd never have had that experience, right? So even though homelessness was this absolutely awful time for me, it's given me this inner strength that I never thought I had, this resilience, this passion to change how the world views my community. It's not a personal problem, and that's what really makes me angry, because we automatically blame the person for being in that situation. We never look at the circumstances or the traumas what that person's been through. I personally think that homelessness, I think everyone's gone through some sort of trauma. Every single person, whether it's child abuse, breakdown of a family member, breakdown of marriage. Homeless people, like the people out there in that situation, don't want to be in that situation. It's just they don't have a choice of getting out of it unless we provide opportunities for people to get out of it. And that's what this artwork does. It's showing the world that homelessness isn't this one thing. It's a complexity of worlds that all clash into one situation. Show how it clashes. We can create pathways out of that to help the communities rebuild.